Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Adult Coloring with ILene Vick, and I'm going to be continuing to color on the page that I was working on, the hair that I did on the last episode. Actually, there are a few more things I'm going to be doing with it, but for now I want to jump down to the kimono, to the outfit, just to do something different, and then I'll go back to the hair when I feel like it. Alright, so here's the book. And I'm going to have to lift my camera to get the whole page, so sorry about that. But that's what the cover looks like. Again, my running joke is I have no idea what the name of it is. So you just put in Chinese coloring book and look for the match on the cover, excuse me. Also, I did a walkthrough of this book, so if you are interested, oh, here we go again. Okay. If you are interested in getting it, look for the cover image. And like I said, I did a walkthrough of this so you can see all the pages that were on it. Alright, so let's continue. Thank you so much for all the feedback. I appreciate your emails, and I even got a comment from somebody. That's great, thank you. Alright. Previous video to the one about the hair was how I did the skin. I'm going to work a little bit more on that because I want to add some shadow up here. I've got some more to do with the eyes. So yeah, I'm jumping around a little bit, but so what? Not going to be a problem. Alright, so I got my scrap paper. Alrighty, let me get the pencil. So I got to tell you, this color that I'm going to show you is like my #1 top of the list. Absolutely love the color to death. Let me get it sharpened so I can show you. I love this color. Alright, so it is Faber-Castell, and it is color number 149. Hopefully that's not reflecting that you can't see. There you go. Absolutely, absolutely love, 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 love this color. Let me show you my scrap page. This is the color here. Beautiful. Love it. Obviously on this one I'm working on pinks and purples, which I am thinking about staying with. We'll see. I love the blue and the purple combination. But right now I want to work on the blue. Alright. Alright, so I got my whisperings fired up. I even have my paper towel to rest my hand on, which during this video I'm sure I will forget, because I do all the time, but that's alright too. And somewhere I have my blending pencils. Oh, you guys really need to forgive me. I do this all the time. I hide stuff on myself. Oh, there it is. It's kind of funny. I actually have a jar that I keep my colors in that I'm working on, but unfortunately I had put some craft supplies in it, so I haven't been using it. So give me a second and let me gather all my pencils that I'm currently using for all this. Alright. So you might want to think about doing that for yourself. Put in also your erasers in there so you won't lose it, because my little teeny tiny space eraser has disappeared, but I'll find that. But yeah, so I've got all the pencils basically that I'm using for these colors. My black and my very dark gray for the hair. Okay, let's start. And I got my test paper, like I said. So given that I'm right-handed, when I'm thinking about what I'm doing, I work from left to right. All right, just wanted to make sure that I was zoomed in as far as I could go. And I do apologize for the boo-boo that I did on the hair in my last segment, but obviously I recouped out of it. And obviously I told you about it because it's not for me. I don't lie about stuff like that. Some artists will not exactly be forthcoming about boo-boos that they've made. That's not my style. Oh, I love this blue. Love, love, love. See something here. See something going on. Okay. Yeah, I just noticed a little oddity here. All right.
Hi, this is Whispering's pianist Joe Yamada. If you've been tuning into our broadcast, you have no doubt heard about
And don't forget that when you get close to the edge, you want to work on doing your little circles for you to being uniform on your color.
You get a much wider playlist and you support this broadcast. You can get the commercial-free version of this broadcast for just $30 for an entire year. That's just $2.
Okay, so I've got this colored in. Not too concerned about it not being uniform. I'm not worried about that right now.
No commercials, no interruptions.
And actually, slight error here. I didn't go left all the way, but that's okay. I'm going to pull my paper that's underneath out a little bit so when this goes over the edge, it doesn't cause any problem. Excuse me while I get a little drink of water here. Okay. By the way, I can't tell you how much I enjoy coloring with you guys, or for your guys, I should say. I know I don't get a lot of comments on my videos on YouTube, but I do get quite a bit of email, and people are always telling me that they like stuff that I did. And I really appreciate that. I'm not looking for compliments on my work. I'm just looking for feedback. What do you like? What you don't like? Did what I color interest you? Did how I color help you? All right. I'm pressing about a 1 or a 2. I'm going to say about a 2 on a scale from 1 to 10. Alright. And by the way, thank you for your comments back on the music. A majority of you are telling me that you like it. I like it for background. Yeah, that's looking really good. Pull out a little bit there for you to give you some context. Okay, so what I'm going to do, well, let me do this. This is going to be a different color right here, so let me go ahead and color up to here. Especially since I have my paper towel, I'm not worried about smudging at all. Oops. Went right up the side there. Ah. Don't you hate that when you're coloring and you're just bopping along and you got a really good rhythm going, and then all of a sudden your pencil gets a mind of its own and it just goes somewhere weird. All right. And again, I always brush with my brush. I didn't think I showed you. This is a Staler brush. You can get it anywhere, probably Hobby Lobby. It's also called a drafting brush. Doesn't matter that the little thingies are awkward. We're all awkward. But anyway, I highly encourage you that whenever you're brushing off your piece of work, don't do it with your hand. Okay, now, let me get in here a little bit. All right, so right here is the underside, and I'm going to go ahead and do that a little darker because it is the underside of the kimono. There we go. All right, so let me get my pencil. Not my pencil, my blender tool. Blend this. And this is where it's going to get really pretty. Be sure that you blend carefully. You don't want to go willy-nilly on it. The other thing that you need to keep in mind is you want to be thorough when you blend. because if you keep going over the same area with your blender pencil, you're going to start tearing up the paper. Now, I noticed I've got a little light spot here because it was right near the edge. So I'm going to go ahead and gently hit that. There we go. Coloring very, very lightly. All right. And look at the difference in the color. You've got that really majestic blue here, and you've got like a light sky blue here, so it really makes a difference. By the way, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this, but I'll mention it again. I do have a Facebook coloring group. I would encourage you to become a member with that. I'm just going to sharpen my pencil here, my blending pencil. Adult Coloring with ILene Vick on Facebook. Now you notice some white streaks in there. That's a paper issue. Try and get that blended out of there. What I meant to say was paper quality issue. Oh yeah. So obviously I'm going in one direction here at the edge so that I don't accidentally rip the paper up when I move in the opposite direction. All right, excuse me for reaching. All right, so let's look at the beautiful color contrast now that we have between the blended blue and the strictly drawn blue. Let's see what this color is. Let's see, it says, oh, bluish turquoise. Okay, yep. All right, so let me get you back in there. It really is amazing how different that color gets, isn't it? And again, this is also a lesson as to why you lay your initial color down lightly, because look how dark this is getting, even though I wasn't pressing very hard when I started on the original color. So this is a really good reason as to why. Excuse me while well, let me do this here. Gonna get my pencil back, go ahead and finish this area down here. There's a little bit of white, so I'm going to very lightly work on getting that out. Yeah, that's okay. All right. Okay. Sharpen my pencil again. My blender pencil.
Hi, this is pianist Joe Yamada. You're listening to Whispering Solo Piano Radio. I hope you're enjoying the broadcast. We'd like to invite you
I
to
have
visit our
got to
website
renew my
at solopianoradio.com.
subscription to them.
Here, you can find out more
These
about
commercials are
music
getting a little annoying to me.
as well as information on how to order CDs, digital music downloads,
All right.
sheet music, and more. On behalf of all the pianists here on Whisperings, thank you for listening. And now, back to Whispering Solo Piano Radio. Music to quiet your world.
Pop you out there a little bit so you can see the lay of the land. Oops. I had a dentist say that to me once when he had a needle in my mouth, numbing me up for me to get a, I think it was a root canal at the time, and I felt him bump the needle, and it didn't hurt because that was, you know, the painkiller was in there. But he goes, oops. And when he pulled the needle out, I jokingly said to him, I looked at him, I said, don't ever say that again to me when you've got a needle in my mouth. We both laughed. It was pretty funny. Okay. All right. And see how that darkened up right there? I can see it on the camera. So now we want to get that back to be a uniform color, so I'm just going to blend that in. Okay, so rather than go to the other side, which is over here yet, I'm going to start doing the shading that I want to do here. So the trick to this is you want to take a look and see how the folds are falling. Now, the reason that I made this darker is because it's basically the underside of the garment. I want to make sure that that's uniform here. Actually, I'm going to darken a little bit near the edge to give a little bit of depth. Sorry, I didn't mean to misspeak. You got to be careful about being too uniform when you color like little areas like that, because even a small area, you want to have something that's a little darker. See? And that just gives a nice depth to it. Okay, so let's look at the folds of this. This here is obviously on top of here, so we're going to have a little darker there. And I'm going to go along the edge all the way down because it's a fold. So we've got that. And beginners, there is nothing exotic about this at all. You just have to look and see how your material or image is falling. All right, so I've got a little bit of depth here. See, I've got that fold. This is the top piece. So I'm just very lightly going to go ahead and color that in, see? There, when I pull out, you can see the effect more. Isn't that neat? In fact, I'm going to leave you sitting out there for a minute so you can watch this. All right, so see, now we've got another piece of material on top of this. So I'm going to darken that just a little bit. And please note that every time I pick up my pencil, I rotate it a tad. And see how we're getting a really nice fold effect in the piece. All right, so I'm just going to just barely darken this line. Just a little bit, couple passes. Okay, so I've got this here, I've got it over here. And on camera, that looks absolutely terrific. You see how you can see that? And I'm going to go ahead and darken this portion here just a little bit, because in effect it is closed up. But I still need to make sure that my line next to the fold is still darker than what I just colored this in. Isn't that beautiful? And one more fold here on the right hand side. Oh yeah. Now I've got some areas, I don't think you can see it because I'm looking on camera, but they look a little rough, so I'm just going to go ahead and very, very lightly color that and then smooth it with my fingers. Oh yeah. See how that's popping up? And I'm just going to put just a little bit of darkness into that V. A little bit of darkness into this V. A little bit of very light darkness into that V. And that way you can see the definite folds in the piece. And again, I'm seeing some white areas here. That's why I'm doing this here. Oh yeah. Let me tap you in. Yeah. Got a little blotch there. It's where I separated the sheet from the book. Okay, got a blotch here. I'm gonna try and fix this. Don't be afraid to use your fingers, guys. There we go. I can't do anything about this piece right here. All right. So let's look at this next area. This is raised up, so I've got a fold right here. Very gently, I'm going to go over that line. And as I've told you guys a bazillion times, let the strokes over the coloring area do the work. Don't shove your pencil into the paper. To get the perceived color that you want, just let it darken to the point that you like it. Yeah, and I'm liking it just about there. Okay. I've got a little bit of a fold here. And this crease here, I'm going to keep slightly lighter than this one. I can tell on my side that it is lighter. I'm not sure you'll be able to. Okay. Sorry, there's that white speckling that's driving me crazy. And now that one white blue blotch. Can't get rid of it. All right. So I'm not going to do this too dark because it's not really a fold like this one is, but just enough to give a hint of depth. So I'm only going to pass over it maybe 4 or 5 times as opposed to the 7 or 8 times that I passed over this one. And then I'm going to color that. Just a few passes, going to make this actually whole strip a little bit darker. There we go. Yeah. I'm loving it. Okay. Now I can see a little blotchiness here. So I'm going to very, very lightly work that with my pencil. And then rub it with my finger. And again, that's a paper issue. Okay. So now I'm going to pop over this side. That was fun. So I'm going to get this other side going. Then I'll show you the whole piece, then I'm done for this recording. Yeah, I'm real happy with that. Okay, so this piece up here is going to be a different color. Let me get my reference here. I'm looking at the pink. Again, I like the pink and the purple. I love the purple down here. This is just 2 shades of the same color. So I just got to think this through and just see what some good colors are for that. All right. I hope you're enjoying watching this as much as I'm enjoying coloring this for you. And what I want you to do as I'm coloring this is look at the places where the shadow is going to be. So here's where her breast is. So we're going to have a shadow underneath here. We've got some nice folds in the line, so we're going to have a little bit of shadow in here. Be a little darker. See? And this looks like it's on, it is on top of the material, so this is going to be a little darker right in here. And again, for you beginners, there is nothing complicated about this. It's just looking at folds and close. Okay, so I need to decide. Okay, so this is it all the way down. Let me see here. back on my paper here. I'm going to have a little bit darker in there, so I'll just go ahead and pop that in now just for fun. And the reason that I'm doing this now is that for you people that are, again, relatively new to this or a little apprehensive about doing it, you can see it's not complex. Just follow the pattern that I'm doing. And again, I'm just going in the one direction so I don't rip up the corner of the paper. All right, so based on what I'm teaching you now, for you people who have heebie-jeebies about these folds, where would you put your darker colors? Think about that for a minute while I drink water. Okay, so I'm thinking in between here, right? Going to color in that V just a little bit and then come back out, down basically on the line and all the way over there. And then for this one, I think we'll just go there you go. Cool. Excuse me. I'm going to sharpen my blender pencil. All right, so let me get blending here. And don't worry about losing the shadowing of the line. We can go back in and pop that in real quick. And by the way, if an area isn't blending well, work in circles. Oh, love how this is turning out. Look at this nice dark here, shadowing. It just makes this thing look royal, you know? Paralleling my lines here. Oh, really happy with how this is turning out. Let me try something with my light here. Caught the corner. All right. I'm very happy with how this is going. All right. And I hope you're learning something. Let's see. Got one more area to color. Got to color her boob. Very, very lightly. And notice here the line ended. So I'm going to take one of my pens and I am going to carefully, hopefully, draw that in. Yeah. That's better. There we go. And I want to get this blue to be as uniform as possible. I don't want it darker like in here, because see where there's like a upside down U here where it looks like it's darker. That's just the way I accidentally colored it. So we need to even that out. Okay. blending pencil. And guys, I will remind you is that these tips that I'm showing you are applicable to other pages that you may be coloring. Just because you're not necessarily doing this one doesn't mean you can't learn the technique. Okay. Let's see something here. Going to take my blue and these look kind of whitish to me right here. So I just want to go over this. And again, that could be a result of the blending, you know, it just starts to pull up the paper. I mean, you can see some rough right here. That's why you got to be really careful how many times you go over things. Because at some point in time, the paper's going to start fighting you. All right. Let's see something here too. There's a little gap right here where the coloring book artist didn't finish the line, so I'm going to finish it right there. There we go. And while I'm at it, see these lines right here? Very, very lightly. I'm going to finish those. Yeah, a little wiggly, but no biggie. They didn't finish it. Doggone it. Look at this. And here's another one here. Let's try and straighten that out a little there. Bummer. I think I got all of them. Okay. Now, one thing I noticed here, and you can see it on the video. Give me a minute. Is this area over the breast is a little bit darker than the sleeve. And I'm going to go ahead and encourage that, which means I'm going to go ahead and just very, very lightly darken it in. I'm pressing about a 1 or a 2, and again, let the pencil do the work. And the reason as I said that before, is as I'm coloring, I'll color something and then I'll just keep, you know, looking at it until I'm satisfied with the color that I want. Neat. Alright, so I lost my blue a little bit here, my shading, that's fine. And pick that up. No biggie. Oh man, alright. Pick that off. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Got a little bit of white in here that I don't like. Darken that line just a little bit some more. Again, I'm pressing about a 1 or a 2 very lightly. And just on the tip of the breast, I'm just going to put a little bit of shadow. Not going to go all the way. Just want just a hint here. And let me pull out so you can see how neat that looks. Again, up close it might look weird, but when you look at it normal distance, it looks really good. Okay. Let's go back here. Recover that blue a little bit. And I'm going to come out just a little bit just to infer slightly bigger crease. And I'm going to get that on the line. Fill in that little V right there to give that some depth. There we go. All right. So there, boys and girls, is the piece. And I'm very happy with it. I might fuss with this a little bit. I don't like how grainy that looks. I don't know if I can overcome that without putting wonky marks on there. Okay, and let's see, one more thing that I might consider before I go. Clean this up a little bit. Now, what else did I tell you guys? I got to remember to do it myself too. Is look at something upside down if you really want to see how it's turning out. Okay, I'm seeing a line right there. Now, do you remember why I tell you to turn it upside down? Why? Because the image, in effect, becomes nonsense to the brain, and it doesn't really make anything out of it because it doesn't understand what it is. It's an upside down image. Okay, so that's where you'll start to see the specifics of where you've drawn. Okay, makes sense? All right. sharpen my pencil. All right, one more area where I'm going to judiciously put shading is right underneath the collar here. I'm talking about a micro thin line. See the difference already? I'm talking about a micro thin line right underneath the collar. I'm probably pressing right now a 5 or a 6 or a 7. It's pretty firm. Look at the difference. Turning my pencil every time I lift it up because I am working with a point here. There we go. I'm going to hit the top of this a little bit too, I think, just very lightly. Hit the top of this very lightly. Oh man, I'm really happy with that. Look at that. Hit the top of this V very lightly. Look how that subtle introduction of blue, of darker blue, makes all the difference in the world. And again, I can see new people saying, well, how do I know to do that? How do I know to do that? Well, you know to do it because you watch videos like this. In fact, while I'm thinking of it, while I've got you here, I'm going to go ahead and just very lightly, just lightly, and look at the difference. Is that not sweet? And look at the difference between underneath the collar here and here where I haven't darkened. All right. Oh yeah. I'm happy, I'm happy. There we go. All right, so let me get underneath this collar here. And for the moment, we are good to go. I need to clean up a little here. Okay, and in order to get that edge clean, I had to erase this, so I just fixed that. Darkening right next to the line here. Now, I may darken here. This would go along here, but I'm going to wait until I color. But look, you can see how that's going to look. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, heck. All right. Fine. Do it now. Now, notice when I darken here, okay, it still transitions out to here. In other words, I'm not just doing a dark line, right? I'm shading. So darker, medium, 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 right to the lighter here. Because if you do just a line, it's going to look funny. Ah, poo. Hate that when I do that. In other words, you don't want to see any transition streaks between your shading here and your color that you're shading into. It's got to naturally progress. Otherwise, it looks like you just drew a dark line around the outside, and you don't want that. All right, let me fix this. Okay. Gotta clean off my eraser. Got a nice little dark shadow here, dark shadow here. The V, see how I'm V'ing that? So I V into this, come down, go up, color in the V, and then lighten as I go outward. Look at that. All right. So now I'm going to come around here and work it out to the outside so the transition is there. Work out that transition. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let me see if I can pull out here. Well, I don't know how I did that. Hold on. Well, somehow I opened another, there we go. All right, so there, look how just great that looks. See, I've got that really nice shading. It transitions well. You just see a shade, you don't see a dark line. If I see a dark line, I'll fix it, but look how nice that transitions. Okay, oh, got a little blotch there. Let me fix that. All right, and the last area I need to do is right underneath here, and this is where I just did a real skinny line. Pressing pretty hard here, 7, 8, 9 on a scale of 1 to 10. And color in there. Oh yeah. Let me get a cleaner eraser here and get this blue out of there because that's bugging the heck out of me. Oh yeah. I'm happy. All right, so I need to pick up my camera here to show you this, so we're going to get a little wobbly, but I want you to see the whole thing here, the whole effect. Get my stuff out of the way. All right, there we go. What do you think? Is that not beautiful? And you can really see the really nice shading effects. I might play with it a little bit more. You know me. But it gives you the general idea what I'm doing. All right, let me put this down. All right, guys, I think we're good to go on that. You know, like I said, I can just keep fussing with it, and I don't want to tie you up any further, but you can see what I'm going to do. Like I said, I'm going to work on the hair a little bit more because we've got an abrupt dark black to this, and then I just want to clean up that a little bit and transition that. So that's it. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed showing you how to color this. I think it's turning out beautifully. I'm very happy with it. All right, guys, this is ILene Vick for Adult Coloring with ILene Vick, and I hope you learned something. I hope you had fun. Hope you enjoyed the music, and have a great evening. Please, please, please get in touch with me. Comment below. Tell me what you think. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye-bye.